Heaven's Journey to Life. Is the Mind Matter? Part 1, Day 26. As mentioned within the previous post, we'll continue with the exact consequence of our conditioning of ourselves as movement through and as friction and conflict, as negative energy experience, and how that relationship of our energy awareness with and as negative, neutral, and positive energy experience is what physically moves us out of the womb of the physical body of the female, and throughout the continuation of our movement and living in and as and with this physical existence, as the very movement of ourselves in our functioning and existing in the physical as the mind, stand within and as the starting point of negative energy. Within this, throughout our lives, consuming substance and physicality within and without, through energy and money for ourselves as the mind and energy within and the world system of money without, to continue existing and surviving for a limited time, until we eventually create and manifest our own death and the slow but certain destruction, annihilation of and as this physical existence as ourselves. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to, throughout time, condition and manifest and evolve, and so automate my emergence and rebirth into and as existence and the whole as me as energy, where in the moment I emerge and rebirth, I within and through the external formation and structure of and as my manifested singularity, that form and manifest in and during the process of emerging and rebirthing, consume substance through emerging and rebirthing as a manifested singularity and individuality in separation from and of the whole that create and manifest friction and conflict as negative energy experience within that very process of rebirth and emergence. And so, simultaneously as my external formation and structure emerge and manifest in the process of rebirth through friction and conflict as consuming substance and creating negative energy experience, I rebirth and emerge within and as myself as energy awareness and experience, through and as the negative energy experience of and as my external formation and emergence and rebirth, through friction and conflict and consumption of substance. The negative energy experiences ripple and reverberate into and as my internal beingness, as manifested singularity, and accumulate the neutral and eventually the positive energy experience of and as the more of me. Therefore, I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how, from the very moment of inception of me into and as existence, I already start the process of and as consuming substance, transforming it into and as energy for me, to within and as myself as manifested singularity, experience my emergence and rebirth as energy, as I have conditioned, manifested, and evolved my emergence and rebirth into and as existence as energy. And thus, from the moment of inception, already separate me from my external formation and structure of and as substance, and my internal beingness of and as substance, as my external formation and internal beingness is transformed into and as energy, immediately, as my external formation and structure transform substance into energy through and as friction and conflict, as I emerge and rebirth in and as separation, and as the negative energy experience from that friction and conflict ripple and reverberate into and as my beingness and substance within, my very substance and beingness is transformed and consumed into and as energy to experience the neutral energy experience of and as only me, and positive energy experience of and as the more of me. And so, substance itself, in my internal beingness and external formation, has become the platform and foundation that I use and abuse to transform into and as energy and energy experience. In this, I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to, throughout time, condition and evolve and manifest my emergence and rebirth into and as existence as me, to where I am now, in and as my manifestation and relationship with my mind, my physical body, and this physical existence as me, where I, from the moment of inception within and as the womb of the female physical body, already initiate the process of consuming substance as manifested as the very fabric and nutrients and sustenance of and as the physical body of the female from within the womb, where I, through and as my external formation as physical body, initiate friction and conflict to and towards the physical of the female as I consume from and of the very physicality of the female for my physical body to develop, grow, and manifest, or that friction and conflict as consumption of substance and physicality, as I transform substance and physicality into energy within, and as myself through and within my very physical and internal beingness. Create, manifesting the necessary negative energy experience for me to, within and as myself, from that negative energy experience, accumulate the neutral and positive energy experience as the emergence and rebirth as energy awareness as me. And so I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to simultaneously, within that process of physical substance, consumption as friction and conflict that generate and create and manifest negative energy experience. The negative energy experience ripple and reverberate into and as my internal beingness within and as my physical body. And the ripple and reverberation experiences of energy immediately transform my internal substance and beingness into and as energy for my internal energy experience to develop and manifest as the neutral energy experience of and as only me that will manifest as my subconscious mind, and the positive energy experience of and as the more of me that will manifest as my conscious mind. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to, throughout time, evolve my emergence and rebirth into and as existence, into and as an automated energy consumption system, aka the mind, that immediately and instantaneously, as I develop and manifest my physicality through and as friction and conflict, as the consumption of and as the physicality of the female, that create the negative energy experience that ripple and reverberate into and as my internal beingness, that as that negative energy experience from and of my external formation as physical body ripple and reverberate into and as my internal beingness, the ripple and reverberation experiences of and as energy into and as my internal beingness immediately consume my internal beingness and substance for it to evolve as energy into and as the neutral energy experience. And finally, the positive energy experience, where my mind and energy consumption system has me automatically layer the energy experiences, an accumulation of energy experiences within the manifestations of my unconscious mind, negative energy experience awareness, within and as my external formation as physical body, and my internal formation as subconscious mind, neutral energy experience awareness, and my conscious mind, positive energy experience awareness, where my subconscious mind, neutral energy experience, and conscious mind, positive energy experience, will manifest as my internal formation and evolution of and as energy from my unconscious mind, negative energy experience, external formation and manifestation within and as my physical body. And so the manifestation of me as energy in the mind emerge and rebirth into and as and from this physical existence through and as the consumption of and as substance and physicality through and as my physical body and internal beingness, and reaches its peak evolution as positive energy experience manifested as the conscious mind already within the womb of the female's physical body, as the optimum potential and experience of me as energy that I will ever be and remain as. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to, from the beginning, see, realize, and understand that my re-emergence, rebirth into existence and substance manifest as a manifested singularity, rebirthed and re-merged from and of existence, which mean my external and internal manifestations was standing equal to and one with substance and existence, because my very internal manifestation as beingness that emerged, within as my very external formation and manifestation as structure that emerged equal to and one with and from substance and existence. But instead of me, every time emerging equal to and one with substance and existence as life as manifested equality and oneness, I have throughout time evolved me into and as an automated energy consumption system that immediately in the moment of inception into and as existence and substance as a part of and from substance and existence, conceive myself as separate from and of substance and existence as a whole. And thus, from that moment of inception into existence as conception of separation, I initiate friction and conflict to and towards substance and existence as me, that through that friction and conflict instead consume life and substance and transform it into and as energy. And thus, within that immediate separation, I, in and as my external formation and internal beingness, emerge and rebirth, manifestation, process, use and abuse that very process and manifestation of me as the gift and opportunity of life and living and expression in and as equality and oneness, with and as substance and existence, where within and during that process of gifting life to me, I transform that gift of life into and as a process of energy creation, where as I am gifted life in and as the very emergence of me internally in my beingness and externally as my structure and formation, I consume substance and existence in life as and during the development and manifestation of my external formation and internal beingness, as I manifest friction and conflict to and towards existence and substance, and in that friction and conflict I instead consume substance and transform it into and as energy, as negative energy experience, and simultaneously within that, as the negative energy experience accumulate and reverberate and ripple into and as my developing and manifesting beingness. My beingness substance is consumed and transformed into and as energy, as the negative energy experience, reverberation and rippling, transform and consume my beingness substance into and as neutral energy experience and positive energy experience. Thus, I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand that I have, throughout time, always had the opportunity to re-emerge and rebirth with and as life and substance and existence, as manifested equality and oneness, as I emerge and rebirth into existence as my beingness and external formation from and of substance, but instead transform that process into and as an opportunity for and of energy creation instead of life emergence, where instead of me birthing with and as life, as existence and substance, as equality and oneness, where life's living stand within and as eternity, I have limited the evolution of me as energy to only the energy awareness experience of and as me as positive energy experience, as the optimum evolutionary potential that I will ever reach, be, and become within and as and throughout the existence of me as energy. In this, I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to, within this, see, realize, and understand that all I have become and still am is energy. The energy consisting of and existing as my very substance as gift of life, that I have instead consumed for me to emerge and manifest and evolve as the experience of me as energy into and as my utmost absolute potential and evolution as positive energy experience, and will within that only exist as long as I consume and transform my external and internal substance, manifestation, formation, and beingness into and as energy, until I, as energy, eventually cease to exist, as I have used and abused the time, as manifested substance, as opportunity, of and as life, as gifted to me by and as me, as existence and substance and life, as manifested as my internal beingness and external formation of and as substance, to use, abuse, and consume that substance, opportunity, and time, instead for a limited time, by and through transforming and using and abusing it into and as energy, as individualized interest for the momentary self-rewarding experience of and as positive energy experience, instead of me utilizing my substance and opportunity and time of and as equality and oneness and living expression within as life eternally here. In this, I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to still, to this day, accept and allow myself to reemerge, rebirth into and as this physical existence as substance of and as equality and oneness manifest as an energy-consuming machine and system, where my very physical body, reemergence and rebirth, and my beingness within and as my physical body, is equal to and one with substance and physicality as existence as the whole. But because I have throughout time conditioned and manifested my reemergence and rebirth into, as, and from existence into and as the conception of and as me as separation from and of the whole in existence and substance, I within and as the simultaneous emergence and rebirth of and as my external formation and physical body and internal beingness and substance, within as the physical body, as opportunity and gift for and of life as emerging, birthing, in and as equality and oneness, within as this physical existence and substance. Instead, use and abuse that gift and opportunity of and as life through emerging and birthing as an energy-consuming machine as mind, that from the moment of inception in the physical, consume the very life and substance and physicality of and as me as physicality, from and of the womb and physicality of the female. And in and during that consumption process, for me to develop and manifest as a physical body, what I consume from and of the physicality of the female through and as friction and conflict. I transform that very physicality into and as energy as a negative energy experience that I invert as ripples and reverberations into and as my beingness within and as my physical body, where those energy experienced ripples and reverberations transform my beingness and substance into and as energy to sustain its own existence and evolve from negative energy experience into neutral energy experience, and finally into its utmost optimum evolution as positive energy experience. In this, I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand, where I instead thus birth as energy through and within the consumption of substance and physicality, reaching my utmost absolute optimum evolution already within the womb of and as the female's physical body, where my entire time and opportunity in and as this physical existence will be limited, as I throughout my time and opportunity in and as this physical existence consume substance as my physical and beingness as transforming it into and as energy that is me as the mind manifest to sustain the experience of and as myself as energy and maintain my peak evolution as positive energy experience that will only exist as the amount of time and opportunity as manifested substance as physicality that is available to me to consume and transform into energy as me as the mind, until I as energy in the mind eventually cease to exist, as I have consumed and transformed all the substance and physicality as time and opportunity gifted to me for my momentary self-rewarding experience of and as energy. In this, I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to create and manifest the world system of money in my image and likeness, where systems, corporations, business, industries, and factories emerge and birth into and as from this physical existence, not realizing, seeing, and understanding that the very construction and development and manifestation as emergence of the foundations and buildings come from and of this physical existence in and as equality and oneness, but instead utilize that process of construction, development, manifestation as emergence of the foundations and buildings within the starting point conception of and as separation, as only constructing and developing and manifesting its foundation and buildings to accumulate money, through transforming substance and physicality, this physical existence, nature, animals, water, soil, air, into and as money, for it to accumulate money through and as the consumption of and as physicality for its momentary self-rewarding experience of evolving to its utmost absolute potential as having that experience of owning the most money as positive energy experience. In the next post, we'll continue with Is the Mind Matter? Part 2, where we'll walk you through the process of seeing, realizing, and understanding how we've separated ourselves from matter, physicality, and substance, and how all that we in fact are is the mind as energy manifest, and that's it. I see, realize, and understand that I, as the mind, is energy manifest, and that is all that I have accepted and allowed myself to be and become, where my existence as me, as the mind and energy, is dependent on the consumption, physicality, and substance and life, that the world system of money as my creation and my image and likeness is and has been showing me as my reflection and mirror of me, as the world system of money consume the very physicality and substance and lives of others as me within and as this physical existence to continue existing and surviving as money. I commit myself to, within this realization, seeing, and understanding, assist and support me through writing, self-forgiveness, and self-corrective application to return me as energy and mind to substance and physicality, of and as equality and oneness, as I walk through my energy manifestation of and as the mind manifest, one point at a time, and take that energy manifestation that I had manifested into energy from substance and return me as that energy manifestation into and as and to substance and physicality, for assisting and supporting me to be and become a living being, equal to and one with physicality, instead of the energy-consuming machine that use and abuse physicality, where instead of me existing within and as energy in the mind, I transform my living into and as the physical, where I take my knowledge and information of the mind as energy and transform it into and as practical living application, which is the process of changing me from existing in the mind of energy to living in the physical. to walk the process of returning self as the mind and energy as energy consuming machine into an as a physical living being of an as equality and oneness. See here. I commit myself to, in this process of returning me as mind and energy into an as substance to be and become a living being of an as equality and oneness, with and as physical existence as me. I will walk my process within and as the world system as me, in transforming the world system of money from a system that consumed life and physicality of all within this physical existence to a world system that gift and give life to all within and as its physical existence in the form of and as the equal money system. Because I see, realize, and understand that as I walk my process of writing, self-forgiveness, and self-corrective application, as the process of returning me to substance and physicality of and as equality and oneness, I am in the process of gifting and giving me life and living. And so standing as a living example for each to see, realize, and understand that only self alone can walk this process for self alone in giving and gifting self life. Because self alone is responsible for creating and manifesting self into an as energy in the mind separate from physicality and substance and life. And therefore, only self can walk through oneself as mind, as energy, to return self to life and substance as physicality manifest. And therefore, as I gift life to me within myself, I walk this process in the without as myself, as the world system, as the equal money system that will stand in and as my image and likeness of gifting all the opportunity and time in and as its physical existence to in fact live life in and as equality and oneness.